Hello. I remember this the other day and was very inspired to kind of follow down the path of ceramics and pottery. And this was the first pottery that I ever made, a piece of pottery that I ever made in the 4th grade. We were tasked to make a Native American inspired piece. It was part of the curriculum in Colorado was to Colorado history. So there's Mesa Verde, and there's the Navajo Nation reservation to the south of Colorado. So I was intrigued to learn a little bit more about pottery because I haven't really done it before. So I just did a little research, and I'm excited to tell you guys what I've came up with. The oldest recorded discovery of pottery was in the east region of China. It was in a cave, and they found these pottery shards that were next to these deer antlers that they were able to carbon date, and they discovered that the deer antlers were close to 20,000 years. And the historians were kind of confused because at this point humans were still in a hunter-gatherer phase, and they were kind of perplexed and wondered how these guys kind of lugged around and why they would lug around pottery if they were kind of mobile most of their time on Earth. And they eventually found, along with these other shards, there's a region in Russia, the Amur River, and there are pottery shards there that they analyzed the oils that they could find on these pieces of pottery, that when they did a chemical analysis, they found fish oil and these other animal oils that made sense now to the historians of what these pottery pieces were used for. And those shards that were found in China had burn marks on them and ash marks on them, so they at least could deduce a little bit that if these pots weren't just for storage and kind of leftovers, they were being little soup bowls. And I love the idea of picturing an ancient person having a little campfire stew moment.
Love that.
Then I got to, I tried to YouTube ancient materials of pottery, and nothing really showed up. And so I started to get scientific with my questions, and started asking just really down to the basics of what is clay. I had tried to answer that question for myself at least, and I do have a little background in soil science, and as a barista as well. I was a barista for 5 years on and off. I was taking soil science simultaneously as I was starting to become a barista, and there was one day we talked about soil particle size, and I went to work at Everyday Joe's in Fort Collins, and I was learning espresso and how to dial in espresso, and that clicked in my head because espresso is a finer grind, and so it's kind of like clay at one end of the spectrum. And then the other end, there's sand. In the middle, there's silt. But if you're a coffee drinker, like I was, you can connect the idea of a spectrum, at least, of sizing. This is my little handheld coffee grinder. But clay would be comparable, like I said, to a little espresso grind. This is also made of ceramics. And then sand would be for a little percolator. And if the particles that erode from the rocks are sedentary and they stay where they're at from their source of rock, they're called primary clay, and they're usually this kind of white or gray color. And then if the particles erode from the mountain or rock and they wander, we still love them anyway, but they'll pick up trace minerals like iron and other and organic materials and other trace minerals, and they'll turn into a more classic type of earth tone that we think of when we think of pottery, like brown, tan, cream, etc. So yeah, cultures around the world use what they could around them. The most common place was near a lake or a river where the sediment, the heavy, finer sediments would collect up, and you could find a lot of clay deposits near alluvial plains. It's a geology reference there. And the trace minerals of each region would add to that culture's presentation of themselves. And it really started to kick off once they discovered that. I watched another YouTube video that said that they accidentally could have discovered this by lining a wicker basket or like a straw pot, and they might have left it too close to the fire, and it might have caught fire.
Oh, no.
But they then realized that they had a solid vessel for now new little invention that they had, and I think that it's pretty cool that it could have been by accident. And yeah, after thousands of years pass, and cultures like the Aztecs and the Egyptians, the Greeks, everyone was into pottery. That was the thing to do. And there's even like they put on their pots anything and everything that was in their lives, spiritually, everyday stuff, cultural influences. There's the Aztecs. There's a depiction of them giving tamales to like the high priest of the tribe, and the cuneiform tablets, which are the oldest recorded writing. Ceramics have evolved into some pretty niche areas. People are doing some cool stuff, and kind of just little kind of knick-knack stuff too. That's really fun, like magnets and ornaments and espresso mugs. I find it amazing though that we still today produce something from natural resources, like a mug or a bowl, that humans have been doing for tens of thousands of years, and there's something so cozy and feeling like home about a handmade mug, and we still stick something that's meaningful to us on there and decorate it in a way that is relative to our culture. That's a little aspen leaf, and it reminds me of my grandpa's mug. He didn't make it, but I always think of him when I drink it out of it, and the aspen leaves make me think of home in Colorado. And so I'm excited to show you guys next week a little more in-depth research into technology and how it advanced ceramics a little bit, and we'll get into some popular artists that helped evolve the ceramic world and pottery world, and we'll go from there. See you soon. Love you, bye.